Hello viewers, welcome to UN Digital Class. In today's lecture, I am going to discuss about IP security architecture. Let us start. First of all, what is IP security architecture? The IP security architecture uses two protocols to secure the traffic of data flow. That means this IP security architecture basically used for securing the data flow in the network or in the IP packet by using two protocols. These two protocols are, first one is the authentication header, that is AH, and second one is the encapsulating security payload, that is ESP. Next, IP security architecture also includes algorithms and DOI and key management. In IP security architecture, all these components are very important in order to provide three main service or three main security goals. First one is the confidentiality, second one is the authentication, and third one is the integrity. That means basically the IP security architecture is used to provide these three services when our data is transmitted over the network. And here in IP security architecture, it uses two protocol. One is the authentication header and another one is the encapsulating security payload to provide these services. Now look at this figure. This figure shows the IP security architecture. Here this architecture has two protocols. One is the ESP protocol and another one is the AH protocol. Here the ESP protocol includes encryption algorithm and the AH protocol includes authentication algorithm. And these two algorithms are used in our DOI. Then we use the key management. This is the basic structure of our IP security architecture. Next, architecture. Here, architecture or IP security architecture covers the general concept, algorithms, definitions, protocols, and the security requirement of IP security technology. Here, the IP security architecture describes how the data is transmitted over the network in a secure way by using two protocols, that is the AH protocol and another one is the ESP protocol. Now, first of all we discuss about AH protocol, that is authentication header protocol. Here the AH protocol provides both authentication and the integrity service. That means this protocol is basically used for the authentication of the source or host and the integrity of the message which is transmitted over the network. Next, authentication header is implemented in a way only to provide the authentication along with the integrity. Now, look at the packet format of the authentication header. Here the first field is next header, then next one is the payload length, then next reserve, and next one is security parameter index. Then next sequence number, and last one is the authentication data, that is the integrity checksum. Now I will discuss all these fields one by one. The first field of our authentication header packet is next header. Here next header is a 8-bit field and that defines type of header present after authentication header, which means this next header field is defines the type of header present after the authentication header, and here the size of this field is 8-bit. Next field is payload length, and this indicates the length of the authentication header in 32-bit words. That means here the payload length means the authentication header length, but it is represented in a 32 words. Next one is the reserve field. Here this is a 16-bit field which is set to 0 by sender, as this field is reserved for future use. That means this particular field is reserved for any further use. Next field is security parameter index. Here this security parameter index, it is a arbitrary 32-bit field, and it is very important field which identifies all packets which belong to present connection. That means this security parameter field identifies which packets are basically belongs to the present connection. Next one is the sequence number. Here this is a unsigned 32-bit field, contains counter value that increase by 1 for each packet sent, which means basically this sequence number field is used as a counter and which increased by 1 after every packet sent. Next, every packet will need a sequence number and it will start from 0 and will go till 232 minus 1, and there will be no wrap around. That means when a packet is transmitted over the network, that packet must have a sequence number, and that sequence number is a unique sequence number which starts from 0 and it will go through to the number that is 232 minus 1, and there is no wrap around, which means if the sequence number is completed, then and here we have to create a new connection. If all sequence numbers are covered and none of it is left, but we want wrap around, as it is not allowed. So we will end connection and re-establish connection again to resume transfer of remaining data from sequence number 0. Basically, these sequence numbers are used to stop the replay attack. Next one is authentication data, that is the integrity check value. And here this authentication data is variable length field, and that contains integrity check value for packet. And using hash algorithm and a secret key, sender will create a message digest which will be sent to the receiver. That means here this authentication data is basically used for checking the integrity, and for checking integrity the sender uses a hash algorithm and a secret key, and by using these two things it creates a message digest which will be sent to the receiver. Now at the receiver side, the receiver will use the same hash algorithm and the secret key, and it create a message digest. And these two message digests, that means the message digest which is sent by the sender and the message digest which is created by the receiver, both message digests are compared. If these two message digests are same, then the data is accepted, otherwise the data will be rejected. Because if these two message digests are different, that means there is some changes in the particular message which is sent by the sender. Next, otherwise receiver will discard it by saying that the message has been modified in between. That means when these two message digests are different, that gives us there is some modification in the message, so that the receiver discard this message. So basically authentication data is used to verify the integrity of the transmission. Also the length of the authentication data depends upon the hash algorithm you choose, which means here the authentication data provides us the integrity of the message. If there is any changes in the message which is actually transmitted by the authenticated sender, then the receiver will identify that changes by using the hash algorithm and the secret key. Then next one is the ESP protocol, that is the encapsulating security payload protocol. And here the ESP protocol provides source authentication, integrity and the confidentiality service. That means in the authentication header protocol, it only provides the authentication and the integrity service. But this protocol does not provide the confidentiality. But confidentiality is also an important service which is needed by the user. For this reason, the ESP protocol come into the picture. And here the ESP protocol provides both authentication, integrity and the confidentiality. And the ESP protocol adds a header and tailor. Now look at the packet format of the ESP protocol. In this packet format, there is a IP header, and after the IP header there is a ESP header. Then the transport layer payload or transport layer data. Then next field is the ESP tailor. Then last one is the authentication data, which is a variable length. Now look at the ESP header. Here the ESP header is a 32-bit field and it contains security parameter index and the sequence number. Now look at the ESP tailor. Here ESP tailor field is also a 32-bit field and it contains padding and 8-bit pad length and 8-bit next header. Now look at the here from the ESP header field to the ESP tailor field, it provides the authentication. And the transport layer payload to the ESP tailor, it is encrypted. Now I will discuss each field of the ESP header and the ESP tailor one by one. But here first of all I am going to discuss about the steps of the ESP procedure. The first step is an ESP tailor is added to the payload. Then the payload and the tailor are encrypted. But in the third step the ESP header is added, which means in our first step, first the ESP tailor is added to the payload. Then after adding the ESP tailor to the payload, both are encrypted. After that the ESP header is added. Then in the fourth step, the ESP header payload and the ESP tailor used to create the authentication data. Now in the fifth step, the authentication data are added to the end of the ESP tailor. Then next in the sixth step, the IP header is added after changing the protocol value to 50. These are the different steps of the ESP procedure. Basically, in this procedure, you have to remember that the ESP tailor is added to the payload. Then after adding the ESP tailor to the payload, both ESP tailor and payload are encrypted. After encryption, then the ESP header is added. Here the ESP header, then the payload, then the ESP tailor, these three fields provides the authentication data. Then the authentication data is added at the end of the ESP tailor. Now look at the field of the ESP header. Here the first field of the ESP header is security parameter index, and this parameter is used in security association, and it is used to give a unique number to the connection built between the client and server. That means this security parameter index basically provides a unique number which build a connection between the client and the server. Then next field is sequence number, and here the sequence number is a unique number and which is allocated to every packet so that at the receiver side packet can be arranged properly. That means here the sequence number is nothing but it is a number which is allocated to every packet and the sequence number is a unique number. Next field is pad length. Here this pad length field is a 8-bit field and it defines the number of padding bytes and the value is between 0 to 255. Then next field is padding. Here padding is nothing but that is the extra bits or space added to the original message in order to ensure the confidentiality. And padding length is the size of the added bits or the space in the original message. Which means here padding is nothing but it is the extra bit or space which is basically added for the confidentiality purpose. The next header. Here the next header means the next payload or the next actual data. Then next one is the authentication data. Here this field is a optional field in ESP protocol, or this field is a optional field in the ESP protocol packet format. Next is encryption algorithm. Here the encryption algorithm is the document that describes various encryption algorithm used for encapsulating security payload. Which means here the encryption algorithm is basically used to encrypt our payload. Next, authentication algorithm. Authentication algorithm contains the set of documents that describes authentication algorithm used for AH, that is the authentication header, and for the authentication option of the ESP protocol. That means here authentication algorithm is basically used in our authentication header protocol to provide the authentication service. Then next, DOI, that is the domain of interpretation. DOI is the identifier which support both AH and the ESP protocols, and it contains values needed for documentation related to each other. Which means the domain of interpretation is basically identifies both AH protocol and the ESP protocol, and it contains values. Next one is the key management. Here the key management contains the document that describes how the keys are exchanged between sender and receiver. This is all about the IP security architecture. Here you must remember that this IP security architecture is basically used to provide the authentication, integrity and the confidentiality service when a data packet is transmitted over the network. To provide all these services, this IP security architecture uses two protocols. One is the authentication header protocol, another one is the encapsulating security payload protocol. And here the authentication header protocol provides two services, that is the authentication and integrity. For this reason, the ESP protocol is used because the ESP protocol provides the confidentiality service. If you have any doubt regarding the IP security architecture, then you can ask me through comment. I will discuss about your doubt. Thank you for watching.